Today's Technology Tuesday, and I've got a question for you. Do you remember your childhood? You know, playing outside till the streetlights came on, listening for mom or dad to call your name, building forts and all kinds of things, having actual face-to-face conversations. Now think about kids today. How much of their world revolves around a tiny screen? It's a question that weighs heavily on many parents' minds, and frankly, it should. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today on the show.
Welcome to the Ask Ralph podcast, where listening to an experienced financial professional with over 30 years of experience can help you make sense of confusing questions, current headlines, and industry trends about taxes, small business, financial decision-making, investment strategies, and even the art of proper budgeting. Ask Ralph makes the complex simple by sharing his real-world knowledge from a Christian perspective with all things financial. Now here's your host, Ralph Estep Jr.
I'm so glad you decided to spend a few minutes with us today. Yesterday, we dug into the often confusing world of debt management versus bankruptcy. That was a tough topic, but one that many find themselves facing. If you missed it, no worries. Just head over to AskRalphPodcast.com where you can catch up at your own pace. Now, before we dive into today's crucial conversation about smartphones and our children, let me give you a sneak peek of what's coming up tomorrow on the show. Tomorrow, we're stepping into the future, folks, with a look at how artificial intelligence, or AI, is influencing lending decisions. It's a game changer, folks, and I'll break it all down for you, so be sure to tune in. Now, let's get back on to today's topic. We're talking about our kids and those ever-present smartphones. Let's ground ourselves first in some scripture, and this comes to us from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6, and it reminds us this. Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. Those are some powerful words, aren't they? And they apply directly to how we guide our children in navigating this digital world. It's no secret that smartphones have become as commonplace as a pair of shoes these days. But are they really hurting our kids? And if they are, why? Well, in my personal opinion, the short answer is yes, and they can be. And the reasons are many. First, let's talk about attention spans. Remember when you could sit through a whole movie without checking your phone? Our kids are growing up in a world of instant gratification and constant stimulation. I know my youngest, he's got his phone going, his Switch, he's watching YouTube or something like that all at once. This can make it so difficult for them to focus on tasks that require sustained attention, like reading, go figure, studying, or even just having a conversation with someone. I don't know about you, but more and more, I find it hard to have conversations with young people. Second, there's the issue of sleep. The blue light emitted from smartphones can interfere with the melatonin production. That's a hormone that helps regulate sleep cycles. This can lead to sleep deprivation, which can have a negative impact on everything from a person's mood to academic performance to physical health. And then there's the big one, addiction. Smartphones are designed to be addictive. And trust me, I know it. I'm addicted to mine. Every notification, every like, and every comment triggers a release of dopamine in the brain. That's the feel-good chemical that keeps us coming back for more. This can lead to excessive smartphone use, which can have a serious impact on a child's social, on their emotional, and their academic well-being. So what can we do about it? Well, the good news is this, there are alternatives. And no, I'm not talking about going completely off the grid. Now, of course, that's an option if you want to. But in my personal, humble view, it's about finding a healthy balance. So here are a few practical steps you can take. And trust me, this is not going to be easy because that addiction is strong. The first one is this, set limits. Establish clear rules about smartphone use. This might include setting time limits. Might include designating device-free zones in the house, like the dinner table, or even having specific days or times when the smartphones are off limits. Number 2, encourage other activities. Make sure your kids are engaged in activities that don't involve screens, like go figure, playing outside, maybe reading a book that's not on an electronic device, spending time with their friends and family, and pursuing hobbies that don't involve playing video games or some kind of screen time. Number 3, and this one is going to cut you close, And that is, you've got to be a role model. And I've found that I wasn't a great one when it came to these smart devices. The truth is, folks, kids learn by example. If you're constantly glued to your own smartphone, they'll be more likely to do the same. They're going to model. They're going to do the same behavior you're doing. So you've got to make a conscious effort to put your phone away and be present with your kids. And number 4, talk about it. It's time to have an open and honest conversation with your kids about the potential dangers of excessive smartphone use. It's time to help them understand the importance of balance and moderation. Now, I didn't say any of these things are going to be easy, because the peer pressure out there is insane. Everybody's got these smartphones. Your kids are being bombarded from all sides with this. And remember, our goal as parents is to raise well-rounded, responsible, and tech-savvy kids who can navigate the digital world safely and responsibly. It's not about eliminating technology altogether, but it's about using it in a way that enhances, not hinders, their lives. So let's recap. Smartphones can be detrimental to our children's development. It affects their attention spans, their sleeping patterns, and even leads to a strong and sometimes unbreakable addiction. But there is hope, like we talked about. Setting limits, encouraging other activities that don't involve those small screens, being a good role model yourself. Now, that's going to take some work on your part, and having open conversations. All these things we do, we can help our kids develop a healthy relationship with technology. Remember those carefree days of childhood? Let's give our kids the gift of experiencing that same joy and freedom, even in our tech-driven world. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope this has given you some food for thought and some practical steps you can take to help your kids thrive in this digital age. Now, don't forget to visit our website. You do that at AskRalphPodcast.com for more resources and information on this topic and all other important financial topics. While you're there, do me a favor. Sign up for our email list so you never miss an episode. And if you found this episode helpful, do me another favor and share it with your friends, family, and social networks. You never know who might be struggling with these same issues, and my bet is a lot of people are. Well, until next time, stay financially savvy, my friends, and may God bless you, and spend some time away from that small screen.
Thank you for joining us on the Ask Ralph podcast. And with a simple click to subscribe, we'll invite you back to our next episode. And remember, financial issues don't have to be complicated. Just ask Ralph. The information contained in this episode of Ask Ralph is based on data available as of the date of its release. Saggio Accounting Plus and Ask Ralph Media, Inc. is under no obligation to update this content if changes occur. Applying this information to your specific situation requires careful consideration of all facts and circumstances, and any information provided is not to be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney before acting on any material covered.